All right. What's going on, guys? Paul Hovan here, and I'm here with the incredibly talented
Natalie Minh.
Natalie Minh.
I was kind of excited as you say my name. Natalie Minh!
She got to beat me to it, but I could do a whole video log on how great of a day I had already with Natalie. It was an absolute blast.
It was so...
And I kind of just want to ask you a few questions
Sure.
onto how you got to be in this stage of your life now, because that's why I flew all the way out here to LA to shoot with you, because I thought, you know, you are the best at what you do. And so my first question would be is, what would you kind of classify someone as a success? Like, what would make someone, in your eyes, as a successful person?
Successful person, it's when you're in alignment with what makes you happy. And you do it, and you can make money off of it, and you can be living off of that. So, and then also too, when you reach the next phase of success is being able to share your knowledge with other people. So when you can start helping others reach that same level of success or help inspire them, because your path of happiness has inspired them to pursue their path of happiness.
Awesome. So that would lead me into my next question is, I think that all successful people, you know, quote unquote successful people, have similar traits in common, which allow them to be successful in the end.
Sure.
So for example, I think all successful people have the trait of perseverance. I think they have a goal and they just never give up on it, which is ultimately why they achieve it in the end. So perseverance is a trait I think all successful people have. So in your eyes, what would be maybe, you know, 2 to 3 traits that you think most, if not all, successful people have in common?
You have to know what the beat of your drum sounds like. And I kind of think that kind of goes along with persevering, is because you can persevere with someone else's dreams, someone else's goals. But when you are, I guess I can say the word, in alignment with what makes you happy and what drives you, what you feel is like why you're here on earth. And a lot of times that's not going to be congruent with what other people think of their image of you. And so then that could be the mental blocks, the family who loves you and they just don't want you to get hurt, or friends who have recognized you as this type of person and they don't understand why you're taking that next path to chase your belief, your success path. So so it's understanding what that beat of that drum looks like for you. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like, just because it makes me smile a little bit, because I remember when I had that moment for me. I had a lot of time in corporate. Mm-hmm. And I was successful in corporate. Yes. I was doing fantastic. I got paid. I had all the bells and whistles. But there's also, I'm sure, like a lot of corporate people can imagine, or they dream of, like that time when like they can escape the cube farm. Yeah. And because they feel like they would be happier. Like there's something out there that could make them happier. Mm-hmm. So for me, that was a defining moment of my life when I was able to realize what that looked like, take the risk, and go forward. So I guess that's one long-winded way to say what one aspect of success is to me. And
that's perfect.
We'll just roll it with that for just a
so,
moment. Yeah.
So did you think, like, you took the path of taking the risk because you believe that much in your vision? Do you think most Americans just kind of settle and they get kind of comfortable because, they have a monthly paycheck, and, even though it's a job that they're kind of just working just hard enough to get paid and just coming in enough and not working that hard enough just not to get fired, they're kind of just going every day and going through the motions instead of going out and pursuing something they really want to do? You think they kind of settle?
It's good question. It's you start looking now. I jumped on the other side of things to be an entrepreneur. You realize that it comes down to your own personal risk tolerance, and maybe you're that guy who has a family and you have to put food on the table. So you do make the sacrifices to put aside those dreams for now to make sure that everyone's fed, everyone goes to school and whatnot. So I can't necessarily hate on the person who's doing that, because he's got to make his own responsibilities happen. Yep. But it's at some point, my personal feeling is I don't want to be on my deathbed, thinking what ifs, what could I have done, or I could have been happier during these years had I not listened to what other people had always said to do. And once you're successful doing what you love, the whole world is on your side anyways, right? Yeah. So suddenly it's like, oh yeah, I always believed in you.
It kind of forms with you. once
Yeah.
you kind of get that feel. Well, because I know, like for myself, obviously, I just started, my own business a few years ago, and it's taken off great. And I'm training more clients online and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people have that goal of being an entrepreneur and creating their job, but then they have that fear that, what if things don't work out, or they have the other fear of what if things really do take off and I just can't handle it. So I would kind of ask you, like, was there a time before you started, Natalie Minh Management and your FMI guild, like, was there a time before that where you were kind of second guessing yourself and doubt was coming in, and like, if there was, what kind of methods did you use to kind of overcome those voices and just say, I'm going with it?
For sure, it's real scary to walk away when you have like a solid paycheck, you have health insurance,
Yeah.
You're talking like going without a safety net, right?
Yeah.
And I am totally grateful that I had those opportunities to learn in really tough corporate jobs, like certain levels of discipline and how big systems work together. Because if I wanted to build an enterprise for myself, I had to understand what the big system looked like. But I wouldn't be able to do that with maybe a 19-year-old education,
Yeah.
at that level. I mean, I probably built you the most perfect fruit stand, but I don't know if I could build the enterprise that I built today, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, it's some things are just, I realize also comes with just age, because I remember being in my 20s just wishing that I was in my 30s, because then people would actually respect what I had to say or listen to what I had to say, because at some point people take their own personal experiences and base your level of authority based on how they perceive you, right? So you could be like the one in the 1,000 Doogie Housers out there that is just, killing it, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, having been focused on learning from others and learning under mentors and learning under bigger systems than what I could do at my younger age, and then having those years to learn how the world operates. Because in my 20s, I got to travel a lot, right?
Yeah.
So like if I became an entrepreneur in my 20s, maybe I wouldn't haven't traveled so much.
True.
Right? So
You can always look at some stuff connecting.
yeah, some things have connected. So then by the time I came back to the States at age 30, I can say I lived abroad. I worked with Fortune 500. I got double master's degree. And then everything else kind of falls in place once you want to do something on your own, because my knowledge level was there, my authority level was there, my social proof of everyone else's success around me was there. So, being young and being an entrepreneur, I think it's a very exciting thought, because you feel like you're like, dude, these bosses don't understand me, and like, get out of here, you're like so old and you don't understand, but it does create a certain level of discipline that and just certain things like learning patience as you get older. That's
important.
I didn't know what patience was until I hit probably closer to 30s. So when you're young and you want to run out and do things that can, still things where you all will always be like, well, maybe I was a little bit younger when I did that.
Yeah. You kind of mature into it.
Yeah, but if you have a network that's supportive of you to become an entrepreneur, or you've got mentors in your life that are doing what you want to do, and then you can be around them and learn from them, well, by God, all means, chase your dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got that kind of support.
I completely agree.